Hi everyone, and happy Friday. This is Tosca Di Matteo, founder of Tosca Coaching and Consulting. And I'm doing a really quick Feisty on Friday. I'm doing it because, first of all, it's late. It's later than I usually do them. And I wasn't really in the mood today. And I just was really thrown off course. But it means something to me. It means something to me that I've been on this platform consistently since the start of the year. And I didn't want that to end because I was thrown off course. So here I am. And to be honest, I have some guests downstairs, which I'm really excited about. Live and in person, mask-free guests. Everybody COVID tested kind of thing, so we know we're being safe. And there was a couple of things rolling in my mind about what I wanted to talk to you about today. So we'll just kind of see what ends up coming out. But I guess the first thing that pops up is that Saturday is spring. It's spring. And it's a special day. It's a special day for new beginnings. It's a special day for planting seeds. It's a special time of year for clearing and cleansing and prepping for new energy to come in. And so I just want to mention that. And if it's something that you haven't really recognized in your life or realized as an opportunity for kind of setting intentions or new beginnings, then I invite you to check out. You can Google meditations or, spring, solstice, stuff, and just see what it means to start a new season. And I think one of the things to remember about new seasons is that sometimes, even if it's spring, it may not feel like that's the season that we're in our heart. We may feel like we're still very much in winter and hibernation and going inward, and that's okay. Sometimes our inner world doesn't match the outer world in terms of how we're feeling. But nonetheless, the seasons change. That's so consistent, and I think that's something that is grounding, right? And reminds us that no matter what's going on, what uncertainty is happening in your life, we can always count on nature and the seasons to do their thing, even if they may feel off because of stuff that's going on with global warming and everything. So spring, that's one thing I wanted to talk about. The other thing that I'm thinking of is, somebody recently asked me if I regretted my choice to take my leap of faith, leave corporate and do this work. And the answer is no, no, it's crazy, right? There are things that I miss about my past, experiences in life. But as much as this is hard to be an entrepreneur and do my own business, the challenges are different. And I'm in so much more control of my life, my schedule, my desires, what I want to do, how I do them, that I feel, for me personally, it's just been so freeing. So much freedom has come with it. And I think it's interesting because two things about Leap of Faith is no decision is ever permanent, and maybe someday I don't, run my own business. Maybe someday I go back and make a paycheck from another company and that's okay, and I'm open to whatever the universe, life has in store for me. So I think it's important to remember, even when we take a leap of faith, even when we make a decision that's uncomfortable, that pushes us out of our comfort zone, it doesn't mean that, that's final, we can always change our mind. We can always make a different decision. We can make a left turn. We can make a right turn. And it makes me think of another concept around I've lived in Brooklyn. I've lived in Manhattan for, I've lived in New York City for the past, 13 years or something. And I love it. And also I remember that as much as I'm I don't know if I ever want to leave, I also know that that if I step into something new or I move to a new place, that, I forget how adaptable I am, right? And how I can find, the new joy in a new living situation. You know, this idea, we get so attached to what's comfortable and what we know. And then when we make those changes, I think sometimes you realize, oh, wow, like it was actually better than I thought. You know, and I think about that too, because I know my neighbor, like they're moving to Jersey, and I know there's a lot of sadness in leaving Brooklyn behind, but I also know that there's so much change that will be welcome, and you know, just remembering that there's, you know, there's the good and the bad, and it's just about what are the trade-offs that feel good or whatever to you. Yeah. And I guess that the other thing that comes to mind, again, in this like short Feisty on Friday, is this concept of mentoring, and how helpful mentors can be, and how careful you have to be about, you know, choosing a mentor, because especially if you're impressionable, especially if you have these ideas that are in the seedling kind of format, getting outside opinion can be very challenging, because if we are not grounded in ourselves when we are out there asking for other people's advice and opinions, it can do more harm than good. I wrote a blog post not that long ago about really regretting that I listened to one of my mentors about like which internship I should take, when my heart actually knew what I was really excited about. And it bothered me for a long time when I look back and say, man, why do I still feel icky about this? And it was because I didn't honor my intuition and I was listening to a mentor. So I think that actually goes across the board, right? Where people are, you know, can often project themselves onto you. They can dump their shit onto you and call it something else, or not even know that they're doing it. And so we have to be really, really hyper aware of like what's ours to keep, and to take responsibility for, but also what is somebody else's. And how when people dump on us or project onto us, that's not our shit. And we have to be able to kind of be like Teflon and let that stuff go. And yeah, I think that's, I don't know. I think this is actually in theme with like spring, right? Like, what are you clearing out? What are you cleansing? Like what no longer serves you? What's not yours that you've maybe internalized or taken on? So I think that's really important. So I'm keeping this short because I have friends downstairs and I want to honor that. And I wanted to honor my consistency in talking to you on Fridays. So look at this. I was able to make it an and today, and I'm so very glad. I hope you have an amazing start to your new season of spring. And I hope that maybe you find a little bit of space to clear what is no longer serving you, whether that's clearing physically things out of your home, whether that's clearing out of your body and dancing it out, going for a walk or whatever it is, getting some fresh air. I wish you the very best of whatever new season you are entering into. All right. Love you guys. Happy Friday, and ciao for now.